First step, we do the auto lease. We do 725 grams of white flour and 500 grams of water. Alright, it was like 15 minutes of fighting this thing. It wants to fight me today, I don't know why. But we're good. I'm gonna let it sit for an hour, and then we'll do our starter and salt. But it's acting weird today. I added more flour, but I think we're where we need to be now. All right, it's relaxed a little bit. It's a little bit sticky, so when I add my starter, I may end up adding a bit more flour, but that's fine. See, when it does that, it doesn't dimple in. It actually follows my finger. Not exactly what I want. This is so weird how the dough is just different every single time. I can't get a consistent thing, but I don't know if that's the dough or that's me. It's probably me. So I'm gonna fold this salt in first. All right, my starter looks good. I fed her like 3 times yesterday because she was looking kind of like lackadaisical. But the smell and the flavor, or the smell seems to be back at least. Okay, I think we're doing good. I think it's about time to let it move it to the next bowl and get ready for our folds. Give it a rest for about an hour, and I think we're starting to come along a little bit. All right. Now we wait. All right, we got the first fold. Let's see how we do. It's feeling okay. I was a bit apprehensive there, but it feels good. I was afraid it was going to be too wet, but it seems to really have started to. It's tacky like it's supposed to be, but it seems to be not congealing, but being a cohesive unit, I guess. I don't know. So it's already nice and stretchy. Feels right. So, all right, I think we're in good shape. One thing I did do, this is all white, unbleached flour, and then my sourdough wheat starter. So, see how this experiment goes. Last week I made one that was just all whole wheat, came out pretty good. So this is going to be all white wheat, and except this, I mean all white, except for the wheat starter. So, okay, we're coming along. That's good. It feels good. It's where it should be. So let it sit for another hour. All right, second fold. Let's see what we got here. Oh, have a couple tiny bubbles. That's nice. Let's see what else. Good flexibility. Still feeling pretty good. So this is feeling really good. It's doing what it's supposed to. That's the second fold is done. I think we're in good shape. All right, third and last fold. It's looking good. Let's see how it feels. Oh, there we go. Very nice. Okay. I think we're in good shape. Wow, okay. It's in good shape. So that was the third fold. Gonna let it rest for another hour, and then we'll get into putting it in the pan. It's Saturday, so I started a little later. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. Making good time. Everything works out pretty well. I think we're in good shape. All right, we are into the folding and shaping portion now. Gotta make sure the pan is nice and floured, and then all the rest I just dump out. Sometimes flour gets stuck on the corners, like too much, and I found that if I just turn it over, give it a nice thump, works out real well. So nice layer of flour on my counter here. Let's get this sucker out. Looking good, feeling good. So I found the last time, kind of shape it, kind of flatten it out, and make sure it stays within the realm of my pan here. Or I mean not the realm, but the size of my pan. Then fold them in, stretch and fold. Then I just roll in place and let it come towards me. So that way you build that nice tension. And I found that it makes a pretty decent looking loaf. So you curl these underneath, and there you go. You have your loaf. I just did this by accident last time, and I figured out, I was like, oh wow, that loaf actually came out. That loaf came out looking pretty good. I'm going to take a picture of that loaf, as a matter of fact. Then Just plop that sucker in there. I push it down just a hair. What's going to happen now, I'm going to cover it, and then it's going to expand and fill all of this. So I'm not too worried about it not filling in these gaps you see here, because it's going to fill in like a couple of hours. So I'm going to give this a nice cover with saran wrap, and then we'll be baking in a couple of hours. It's almost 12:30 in the afternoon. We'll be cooking in the oven hopefully by 3 o'clock or so. So we're in really good shape. I think this one's going to come out okay. Now I have the guy is almost ready. The bread is almost ready. So I'm going to wrap it. Now I found that giving it, like wrapping it, so I was doing it this way and then you didn't have enough room, so I do it this way. I still want to try the way where you just put in water, but I'm just so, because you need to protect the glass on the front of the stove, so I'm always afraid that you drop water on that, it's gonna crack it. And I am not about buying I don't even know, I guess I could just buy a new door for the oven, or I could just do this and save all of that trouble. This is a pain to do. I can never get it right, at least not on the first time. But at least, I know with my luck, I would just drop that one little droplet of water and poof. So what I mostly do here is just get the top and the shorter sides, to the top and the bottom, the shorter sides wrapped, so at least they're formed, and then I come around the sides. So it always comes loose. There's not like I've seen pans that are a little bit taller and then they have a slide. I don't know if you're supposed to cook with those though. I would love to just have like a metal cover that could just pop on, because I'm lazy, right? So I'm gonna put in I almost ran my finger on that thing. All right, let's, I guess I'm gonna do that, just not too rough, but just deliberate. That little bit came off, that's not good. So I have 2 cuts in there. I found the rest, aesthetically it makes the bread look better. You don't really need it with the loaf, I don't think, because I didn't cut it the first 5 or 6 times, because it did split. It made some splits, but it wasn't that big a deal. Putting a little a slit though gives you a smooth side, so aesthetically it's more pleasing. It doesn't necessarily, it's not functional at all. Set a timer for 45 minutes.
45 minutes, starting now.
And that helps with that too. There's background noise. You almost can't hear it at all. I mean, if you really raise it up, you probably could, but now you can hear me, and I'm right here. So it is time. Let's take this thing out. Let's take the aluminum off, I mean. Okay. Okay. We're looking really good. It didn't rise a whole lot, but it did rise and it spread. Let's bring the camera down. All right. It is above the line, above the rim, which is all I really ask for because that means it went from approximately here to there. So almost like an inch rise, which I think is pretty good. So now I set my timer. I found to start around 22 minutes, maybe give it an extra 5 after that, but I just play it by ear. It's really white because of the flour. It didn't turn as brown, or it might not turn as brown, but like hopefully those edges, I don't know how well you can see them in the camera. There's edges right there. Hopefully they'll darken a bit and we get a nice coating on it. It's a little bit before 5 minutes, but I think we're right. Okay. I mean, check this guy out. I did not, look how, it doesn't have, it has the bubbles, but this thing is shiny, right? And I didn't do that on purpose. I didn't like do an egg wash is what I mean. But it's shiny right here. It's tight, but like these guys, the slits look really pretty. Aesthetically, it's really pretty. It looks like one of those the Japanese people like to have their food displayed on the outside of some restaurants, and they'll have fake food so that way you get an example of what you're ordering. So you just go, oh, I want that. It looks like one of those fake Japanese breads. This is really cool. So nice and hollow. Bunch of bubbles, but like the bubbles are like laminated underneath it. It's so interesting. Each one has just been unique. This is loaf 13. So this is the 13th loaf, and the 13th loaf kind of looks has its own look, which is great. So now we wait. All right, it's been a few hours, like 3-4 hours now. But looks nice. Made sure to cut it as crooked as possible. This helps. I'll cut it this way. Crumb looks pretty good. It's got some larger holes, but that's fine. Nice flavor. The sourness doesn't hit you until the back of the mouth. I have a fruit fly here. That's not fun. Anyway, good flavor, good texture. Just aesthetically, it looks nice. I think we're doing okay.